Hello and welcome to Overcast. Thank you for joining for the 78th episode of Overcast. I'm Frostee and joined by both of my awesome co-hosts once again for another week of Overwatch news and more. Ovadrive and Soulslain. Hope you guys are doing fantastic.
As always.
Doing great.
Nice. So let's just dive into the formalities so we can get to the show, get to the awesome stuff, which is the fact that you can follow our show on Twitter at Overcast Show. You can hit up our blog page, which is overcast.frozenfoxmedia.com. You can see where we post all of the things that we talk about each week. And also there's frozenfoxmedia.com where you can just go and learn about all the other content and other things that we have, podcasts and more on the Frozen Fox Media Network. If you're watching the video version on YouTube, thank you for that, and give us a thumbs up if you love the show. And also make sure you subscribe. Or if you're listening to the audio version on Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play Music, or anywhere else, you love the show, let us know by leaving us a review. Make sure you subscribe wherever you listen or watch so you don't miss any future episodes. So there we go. There's the formalities. Let's get to the past week.
Yeah, let's. And I know this is an Overwatch podcast, but how about Heroes 2.0 with the cinematic featuring two Overwatch heroes?
That's right.
Genji, Diva.
That's right.
What do you guys think about that?
I think it was a surprise because everybody thought for sure it's finally time for Deathwing, right? And then Diva comes like flying in to save the day, which was not all like too big of a surprise since it's like an Overwatch driven event. So
yeah,
but it looks cool. I'm excited to see her in the game and see kind of like how her, first of all, how they reproduce her, because like the Genji kit is, really awesome. How they've kind of again once recreated another Overwatch hero in Heroes of the Storm, so I'm sure Diva will be another blast to play.
So you've been checking that out?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, like the Genji gameplay is crazy. Like it seems like he's going to be the most annoying, and probably if you get good at him, the most satisfying assassin for right now to play.
Yeah. I bought him with the free shards that they gave out, or whatever gems they're calling them. But I haven't played him yet.
Yeah, he looks awesome.
What else you been up to, Frosty? Anything else?
Just other than checking out Heroes 2.0, getting ready for that big event, finishing out papers for school at this point. And not much movement in the competitive world to really speak of. Nothing earth-shattering happening there. So
yeah,
that's pretty much been my life. So
yeah. Well, cool. Soulslain, what have you been up to?
A ton of stuff. I was checking out Heroes 2.0. I didn't play it yet, but it's really cool how you get those 20 heroes for free when you log in and play. But as well as my raiding group, we're attempting to down Gul'dan on Heroic. It's been pretty tough. We got him to 28%, but pretty much on that last phase, it just gets so chaotic and there's fire everywhere, and then just everyone dies. Like we barely get into phase 3 to do anything, but I think if we work on that section and organizing the fires, we'll be fine. So we'll get him down next week. Yeah. And then still playing some Hearthstone. A little more casually now. I'm kind of like stuck at rank 10. So maybe...
Isn't there a floor there now once you get there?
I don't know.
Can't you not drop below it?
I think
or is that 5?
I think the floor is still rank 20, at least for like new players. Like if they're rank 25, then they have at least like 5 ranks to play with other new people. But I didn't hear the higher rank floor. I haven't hit it yet though, because I keep losing.
Losing rank.
Yeah. Falling through the floor, if anything, right?
Okay.
Yep. And then Overwatch. I've been playing like a decent bit. Like last week, and I played like a ton. And I opened up a lot of boxes, and I've only gotten 1 legendary. The McCree legendary, but I really wanted the Mercy one. I might have to pay some coins or open some loot boxes with some money. But
yep.
Yeah, I think I'm just really unlucky. Like the last event, I got like a ton of legendaries. This event, like 1. So unfortunate, and my rank's still stuck at like 2,400. I had some really good games like clutch reses and really turn the game around. But then there's other games where it was just like completely one-sided and we lost. Like they captured all 3 points or 3 rounds, and that was it. And it just didn't feel like I should have even hit play. So that's
very unmotivating when that happens.
Yeah, it's like, well, why am I playing? It's unfair. So yeah, I mean, good games and bad games. You know, it was fun though. Yeah.
I think we throw it back to Ova then.
Yeah, so for myself, I'm hyped. I'm hyped for that Police Diva. We'll talk about that later, but
definitely,
cool, man.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely checking out Heroes 2.0. Open up, I think, like 30 some loot boxes in there. I got Lucio, which I was excited for. I definitely want to play him. I haven't had a chance to play him yet in HOTS. So I got two new Overwatch heroes to play in there. I picked up some new hardware for my PC. I got my GTX 1080 in over the weekend. I love it. It's fantastic. It's keeping up with my 144 frames.
How beautiful is it?
It is spectacular.
How many frames do you get in Overwatch now?
I leave it capped at 144 because I need to.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to overuse it. But, yeah.
Why not, right? If you got 144 in the bank, so.
The rest of it goes to the stream. Speaking of though, I've been contemplating putting out a streaming schedule, so hopefully I can get out there on a more regular basis and try and get some people together. There's I don't know if you guys heard about this last year, but there's like streaming for that Make-A-Wish or that I think it's a Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and get on that bandwagon. If I have to join a team, I'll do that if I don't get enough viewers. But wanted to shout out here, kind of pimp that here and say, hey, come check me out, and we'll try and stream for that over the course of next month.
Nice.
That 24-hour stream?
48.
48?
48 straight.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah. So I'll try and get a schedule out there and let you guys know probably by next week what that looks like.
I'm jealous about the hardware though, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In addition, I got the Razer Ornata Chroma, and that keyboard, the Chroma keyboards are so cool. The way they interface with Overwatch, you basically install the software that comes with it, and when you log into Overwatch, your keyboard interacts with every hero, every ult, changes colors to match, and lights up when you're ulting. It's super cool.
It's just a whole other experience then, right? It's
it is. It's like another like peripheral like visual that you have something going on. So
I gotta upgrade.
It's really cool.
I gotta upgrade. I have the G15, which used to be like the cool thing, you know, because it's got that little screen that would interface with like World of Warcraft, and it'd have like your stats and all that, or like what your stats in a battleground were. But that's nobody updates that stuff anymore, so it doesn't have an Overwatch plug-in or anything like that. And I noticed the other day, like my WASD Q and E keys, like they're all like if I push on them sideways, they like have a lot of give. They're all worn out now, so I think it's about time to upgrade. That's awesome.
Yeah, give the Chroma a look.
Nice.
Yeah, it does look really good.
I'll trust your review more than I trust other Amazon reviews.
And this version has the shorter keys. The other versions have the fat keys. So just decide which one you want.
Gotcha. Nice. That's awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Well, should we jump to the news for the week then?
Yeah, let's move on.
All right. Let's talk about season 4. If we've seen anything, and we talked about like kind of where we were at, or if we're moving up or down right now. Is there anything like of note that we're seeing in the game lately? Any trends that are maybe unnerving or just bizarre? I know in Heroes we're seeing a lot of weird stuff because Heroes 2.0 is bringing a lot of people into the game right now. So
yeah,
it's I've noticed there's like a decline in toxicity in that game, for example, because everybody's playing heroes they never play, which means they're really crappy, but nobody like calls them on it. So I don't know. Are we seeing anything in the game in Overwatch like that, or it seems like it's kind of the same, or for me at least, I haven't seen anything really different lately.
Yeah, I agree. It's pretty much the same old story for me at least. Anyways, I'm just trying to get better at like my own positioning, my own game awareness. But I don't see really any hero trends or meta trends any different than last week. I don't know, Soul, if you've seen anything.
No, none at all. But I did notice that like two things that with the definitely after they changed the like lose and win streak, perfectly timing when I had a lose streak, it is very hard to like climb. You don't really move as much as you did before. Like you don't get like, oh man, I just gained 200 SR. This is great. Or you don't lose 200 SR as well, which is kind of nice too. But in the past few games, I would get like 12 SR for winning and 24 SR for losing, and it was like just a lose-lose situation. You're like you're trying to win, but you just keep losing.
Yeah,
SR, even if you go 50-50.
Yep.
You know, it's like pushing you down in rank.
Yeah, if you lose, it just digs you a hole, and it's like,
yeah, you're like I can't get anywhere. Yeah,
you got to get in a team and just win like nonstop, or it's just kind of bad. I think
so. Yeah, just consistently win somehow. That's the only thing I noticed.
Yep.
Yeah, it's same here. It's one of those things where it's like I get in and play a few matches, and it's like you win, and you're like, all right, cool, I'm moving up, and then you like lose and lose again, and you're like, oh no, I'm slipping too much.
Yep.
You just got to hit the escape. You're like, I'm out of here for now. Come back later.
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just like people filling roles that they're not comfortable with, or putting like, all DPS mains in one team, and then somebody just has to heal, and you don't get heals because they never do it. Mm-hmm. I don't know why you see this drastic changes, why you keep, why you lose, but it's definitely frustrating.
It's one of those things where like I wonder if they need to like look at SR, like how SR gets calculated even in each match. So not maybe the placement as much, but in between matches, so it can be like, well, you lost, but you did really good, so we're not going to hurt you as bad. But I don't know, maybe people would like that. But I think it'd be more fair. But I mean, I'm not even going to begin to think that I know how to like calculate that. So
gold medals don't matter. Remember that.
That's true. That's true.
They don't mean anything.
Well, especially like if you get like 4 golds and then your team still is like, Mercy, you're the worst player,
Yeah.
And you're like, what else can I do?
Yeah. Oh man.
I only had like 3-4 reses, something like that. But all right, let's go to Overbuff. They released another tier list, another meta report on the 19th, so we're a little bit more updated. And I don't think much has really changed from that since the last one we saw. And actually, I think Lucio probably went higher, maybe in this report than the last one.
Yeah. So we kind of expected that, right?
Yeah, it's
kind of expected him to stay the same or even better.
He's getting better and better all the time. Yeah, and so like if you look at the tier report, he's got like his icon, which he's got that little smirk on his face. He's just like, I know I'm the best, Everybody else, you guys all suck,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, honestly, it's kind of, other than him, everything's playing out kind of like we talked about last week. It seems like I think more people are even moving up into tier 4, so that middle ground is starting to get even more people in it, and we're starting to get, like Soul said, a more healthy meta in the game right now.
Yep.
So I don't know. Do you see anything on there, Ova, that like makes you question anything, or that you didn't expect maybe?
No, this is kind of what I expect. It's kind of a pretty nice distribution right there in the middle of, like you said, you can just kind of bounce back and forth between what counters what, and it keeps it fresh. It keeps you making sure you have your team that's playing against the other team properly, and those heroes are actually effective and not useless when you take them out onto the battlefield. So,
yeah, do you see anything in there, Soul, that you're thinking about?
I mean, you got McCree coming up at 10% usage now. He's slowly inching his way up there.
Who called it last time, right? I think you and I said that he was going to climb up there.
Well, it could be because of the Fair Mercy combo, but Mercy now is actually a little bit lower.
Mm-hmm.
So that's unfortunate in Zenyatta, but McCree's coming up, so that's pretty cool.
There you go. Yeah, so we'll see how it continues to evolve. I think that things are trending in the right way. I just don't see Lucio moving anytime soon, though. I think he's just going to stay where he's at.
I thought I wasn't sure how much it would change with the new Lucio changes. Like, could people still use Lucio with some of the dive comps? But apparently it looks just fine. It'd be better.
Yeah, it's crazy how that worked out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it didn't change a thing, I guess.
Nice. Well, we have a cross game event, kind of like we talked about at the top of the show. We talked about Heroes 2.0, and that is officially underway now. So if you like Heroes, or if you just want to play Heroes, is like the best time to get back into it. You can get tons of awesome stuff, and especially if you've played it a lot in the past, you can get a lot more stuff even. So as your player level gets higher there. But we have because the event now is basically like an integration of Overwatch. We got some cool Overwatch stuff we can get. So they have we've had the Nexus Challenge before, with World of Warcraft. We had the Nexus Challenge 2.0. They just call everything 2.0 in Heroes now. Like every system they talked about on the stream yesterday was 2.0. Everything is 2.0 no matter what you can think of right now. So why not Nexus Challenge 2.0? And with the Nexus Challenge, the new one, they have I think it's a 5-week kind of progression thing where you can get stuff every week now as it starts out. So starting, for example, this week, you have to play 5 games with a friend in versus AI, quick match, unranked, or ranked. And if you do that, in Overwatch, you'll get the Oni Genji skin, the player icon, and the spray. So you'll get that. You get some stuff.
Back.
Yeah.
It's back.
It's back.
Yeah. I didn't get it. I need it.
This is your chance. All you gotta do is 5 games too, and you can only have to do versus AI, even if you don't want to play very hard games.
Yep.
I want to join ranked. I'm ready.
And then, so every week it changes to another thing. So for example, starting the week of May 1st, it changes to after you complete Quest 1, you play 5 games with a friend in quick match, unranked or ranked, and you get the Officer Diva skin.
Arguably the best Diva skin out there.
Yeah, definitely.
So Ova, give us your review of the Officer Diva skin.
The review is everyone needs it, and I need it right now. No, it looks awesome, and I think her wings and stuff light up and kind of flash and blink. It's really awesome.
It's a beautiful thing. Definitely the skin I'll be using from then on.
Of course.
And then if you keep going the week of May 8th, so you got to complete Quest 2, then you play 5 games with a friend in quick match, unranked or ranked again, and you get the Officer Diva spray and player icon, which got to have that too.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go to the 4th week, it's even better. You do the previous week's quest, 5 games again, quick match, unranked, ranked. You get 10 loot chests. So
that is good.
It's pretty easy to get 10 loot boxes
and Overwatch.
Yeah, you get in both. So that's pretty good.
Fortunately, this is after the uprising, so these are going to be normal loot boxes.
Yeah,
that is true. That's true.
Yeah. I want the uprising loot boxes. Get a few more legendaries.
So there you go. You got it runs all the way till the 22nd of May. That's when the cutoff is. If you don't get it, you don't get it. But it's a pretty easy way to get awesome skins. Like Ova said, arguably the best skin. And then to get 10 loot boxes, I mean, just playing 5 games is pretty easy. So you knock it out pretty quick. So there's that.
It's super fun.
Yeah, it's super fun. It'll get you into Heroes. That's for sure.
It is so much different than any of her other skins. They did such a good job on it.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully that's a trend that we'll see continuing in the future, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I keep seeing
it let down.
Every time there's an event, there's always a post on the forums. It's like this hero got left out, or this hero. Who's been left out for skins for a really, really long time? You think? I'm trying to remember. It's like Sombra came. Sombra had a new really good skin for a while.
Zarya, probably.
Zarya seems to get left out a lot. Yeah.
I don't want Cyber Goth. I wanted the weightlifter one back in the summer games. but I didn't get that one. So
she had a winter one.
The winter one, the emote was probably her highlight, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
The emote with 3 different emotes in one.
Yep.
You know what? I don't think we've had a Hanzo skin.
Do we need more Hanzo skins?
We need them.
More Hanzo.
This is coming from at Hanzo Main 420.
Yeah.
But seriously, though, have we had a Hanzo skin? I don't think we have.
Yeah.
I don't think so either. It's true.
I don't think so. Oh, the demon from the Halloween event.
Oh, you're right.
The last one.
So there's one Hanzo skin.
It was an epic, not a legendary.
Yeah. Is Blizzard trying to tell us something that they don't want us playing Hanzo?
Thanks a lot, Jeff.
Nice. Well, if you're worried about skins, there was a post in the forums today, because there are people that play Overwatch that do not have a PC and they don't play Heroes of the Storm. So they're like, hey, where's our chance to get it, right? I think they called it skin neglect. So somebody posted and they're like, hey, all these other people just have to play Heroes and they can get the Officer Diva skin and Oni Genji. Jeff Kaplan took to the forums to alleviate their fears, though. He said, we completely understand that there are some players who do not have access to a PC or play Heroes of the Storm. Because of this, we'll add both those skins to normal base Overwatch loot boxes at some time in the future. So there you go. Then he took a chance to plug Heroes, of course.
Of course.
So do not fret if you're only a player on a console and you don't have a chance to play on PC. Though a lot of people on the forum post did point out that Heroes would probably play on a potato if you had to.
Well, the post did come across like, if you don't have a PC, you should just go buy one.
That kind of, yeah.
Play Heroes.
What are you missing out?
It's like, what are you doing? You play Blizzard games, you don't have a PC, right?
Yeah.
Yep, there you go. So let's go to the World Cup. So the qualifying time is over, so I hope all you guys made it. And
I did.
You made it to the top 100 in your country, right?
The last second.
Yeah.
So there we go. The top 32 teams. So we were talking like we had the list of top 50. They took the top 32. So the teams were announced, cutting off on 32nd at Romania. So if you're Romania, you barely made the cut. But China ended up on top, and then South Korea, United States, Sweden, and Finland in the top 5. So there we go. Russia all the way down in 10th.
Yeah, Germany 11th.
Yeah, maybe a weaker bracket for them this year. So the picture, of course, is like the picture from last year with South Korea taking home the win on the ESPN story that I was reading about it. Don't need to be reminded of how brutal that was. It was a savage ending to the game there, to the match. Yeah. But we'll soon get more information, of course, regarding how everything is going to shake out in that, and the voting, I guess, will get started soon. Once they get all the pages built and set up on their end. So look out for that, and get ready for the run to BlizzCon at this point. So either one of you have anything you want to add about that, about the World Cup? Excited to see it, maybe?
Really excited.
Watch it live.
Games. Yeah.
Get ready for my bracket. I'll start studying these teams.
There we go. I think we'll do another bracket challenge like we did last year. So we'll have even better prizes this year too. Yep. How about that?
Better.
So going along with these competitive matches, I was reading a story this week that was about Overwatch match fixing allegations.
Yeah.
So I guess this is in Korea. There was 2 people charged with offenses related to fixing matches in an Overwatch tournament recently, and how this is a big thing that Blizzard needs to fix, especially with Overwatch League coming on the horizon. And do you think with Overwatch League being a big organized league that we're going to be having sometime in the future, whenever it actually happens, that things like match fixing will be a problem that we might run into?
I think it might be. It happens in other sports, so I don't think this one's any different.
Yeah, we don't have referees that can help throw the match or anything, of course.
True.
So, I wonder if.
Well, I guess a question back to you, right? Coming from a law perspective, how do you view all this? Right.
It's there are lots of things that on the back end, especially here in America, that we have. I guess this would fall into like some kind of antitrust stuff. You start seeing this, especially if it became organizational. So you don't want to see that happening. But there's also like the question in America of esports betting happening, and that just throws another whole thing in the mix because betting is illegal in a lot of places in the United States. But if you're in Vegas, you could see esports bookies popping up now. So you go to the if you go to the casinos, you see like the sports booking place. You sit and watch whatever sport it might be. So there might be an esports part. Maybe that'll become a new industry there. Who knows?
I think that's a pretty big possibility.
Especially if Las Vegas lands a team, right?
Yeah.
I wonder why they don't already do that. I mean, there's League of Legends and Dota and look at CS:GO, all those like high stakes games. Yeah. I'm surprised people aren't already betting on that. Probably some site out there or something.
Yeah, I think there is. I mean, the story I was reading was from a website that was called esportsbettingreport.com.
Yeah.
So. But I'm sure the market is a lot bigger, like in other countries, for example, right now. And I'm just waiting to see how it matures in the U.S. I mean, not that I don't bet on sports or esports or anything like that, but it's a huge thing. Like with sports in general, it's just a big thing that happens, a big market, and that's not to delve too far out of esports or anything like that, but with the Raiders moving to Las Vegas has brought up a huge question of sports betting in our country, and I think esports is going to get kind of falling into whatever that discussion is going to end up happening from that. So if any laws either get changed or relaxed around the country, I think it'll have an impact that comes from that from that move happening.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an issue, especially like because of the betting. You're always like the players are going to be always tempted to make more money off of these bets instead of actually like winning the game. So I think whoever's like hosting it and whoever name is on it should be held accountable for like keeping it at least professional.
Yeah. And it is a little bit harder to police. I mean, if somebody's going to throw a match, it's a little bit harder to tell, a little bit of positioning basically, and they can be like, oh, I died. And then that costs us the match,
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little harder to detect because you can't have, we don't have a lot of ways to police it, I guess. I guess if somebody like was dedicated watching their stream and was like, there's no way they'd make this mistake, it's like all I can see coming to my mind when I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
So go for it.
They would probably watch the replays or something. Like you'd have someone like watching the replays, like seeing their positioning and how they're moving and stuff. If they could tell maybe if it's on purpose or not. Yeah,
you never know. So that's definitely a possibility. You could see like after tournaments, if this actually happened, you could see like analysis videos that are like, see how he does this, see how he does, or how he didn't ult early enough. So we'll just have to see how this pans out if it ever happens. But there's a possibility. I mean, it happens, like you see, it happens in other places, so it might happen here. Talking about throwing matches, let's talk about an Overwatch pro player that threw his career away this weekend. I don't know if you guys saw this story happen. I saw it all over the news, though. I actually saw it pop up on a news app on my phone before I saw it anywhere else. But I don't know if anybody out there knows Delor. That's what his name was. And he got kind of upset because one of his teammates was playing, and apparently just threw the N-word out there 60 times on his stream.
They counted it?
At least the news people counted it for you.
Okay.
And Toronto Esport was like, yeah, we might not want to deal with this anymore. And their statement said something to the effect of, immediately upon learning of the incident, the player was interviewed, admitted to the offense, was notified that his contract with the organization would be terminated, and that was it. And then let out an apology on Twitter about having a bad day, not getting much sleep. Though I think throwing out the N-word 60 times.
But still, it's like, Yeah, even if you're tired, I've been tired many times, and I had nothing. masks. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's if you've watched the video, it's a very angry tirade. It seemed like it was more than just that. So
yeah,
one of those moments where you need to just hit stop stream for a second,
Yeah.
or at least mute your mic. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty bad. If you want to check it out, it's all over the internet now. But I would not recommend it if you don't want to listen to that explosive laden.
Very, very vulgar.
Yeah.
Wow, what did this player do to him? Like, he must have been really mad. What
Yeah.
threw him over the edge?
It didn't look like it was anything that would have,
Yeah,
been overtly bad, but you never
Yeah.
know. So it brings to mind, like, are people in the streaming world, are they wound too tightly? Like, do we hold them up against, this is the question that comes out whenever anything like this happens in any kind of media. Like, what kind of standards do we hold them to? Are we holding them to like a too high of a standard? Which I think if you're going to throw a word like that out 60 times, not to mention like the entire thing, you probably deserve to be punished. Actually, you do deserve to be punished.
yeah.
But what kind of standards do we hold people in the esports world to anyway? Because
Well,
we've had sports stars forever. Now we have esports stars that are rising up that we haven't had forever. So I'll let you go. Sorry.
no problem. I don't want to interrupt you. But if he's going to be a professional esports player, then he should be held at a professional level and, act accordingly. Like, this is his job and this is what he's doing. Just like a professional sports player or anything else, if they end up, doing something or saying something, then, they should be kicked.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of the same thing, right? Like if you look at the NFL, Johnny Manziel going to Vegas and partying up and doing all kind of crazy stuff, and then no teams want to sign him, right? I mean, it's kind of that public image of yourself that you create. You just can't do that whenever you're at a professional level in that scene, and perception kind of means more than what it did just kind of coming up through the ranks. So
yeah, and I think with esports we have, I don't know, I don't want to say like we have like a bigger responsibility, but it seems like with like, for example, when you're streaming, you do have like certain, code of conduct that you kind of have to agree to, I think, on some sites. I mean, it's pretty broad. They give you a lot of latitude with it. But when you start doing stuff like this, you run the risk of losing how you would even make some income on the side or anything like that. And we have a new, I don't know, a new population of people that are delving into streaming and professional esports, and it's kind of like, I think for some people that are going to be doing it for the first time, it might be a new thing you have to figure out, like that you have to rein yourself in sometimes. You have to act professionally in different circumstances, and it's fine to get mad, but just mute that mic if you're gonna go off on somebody. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that hard.
Yeah. Well, let's like compare it to like an office job, and you wouldn't go in and start swearing and saying the N-word, 'cause that's what you do for a living. So
yeah.
right.
Comparing it to that, it's like, you got to understand, like, this is what you're doing and you got to do it professionally. It makes sense.
Yeah, and I think it's even more so in our esports realm, because like if you do it on the NFL field, for example, like you and your teammates probably gonna be the only people that hear it. Maybe the other team, whatever. Here, like, it not only is it you're your own brand. I guess that's where I want to bring it to. You're your own brand when you're doing esports mostly. Yeah, you're part of a team, but a lot of times like it's you. Like the sponsor's there for you. You run your stream, whatever it might be. You run your channel. You're marketing yourself, and if that's how you're going to market yourself, that's the risk you run.
Yeah.
So there you go. So let's get to something more uplifting, I guess. Let's jump to the community cards of the week before we wrap up here. So from last week, I not to toot my own horn, but I did walk away with 54% of the vote and the win.
Oh.
So that
congrats.
The Reaper art was enough to do it.
It was good though.
Yeah, I have to agree. But I did enjoy the video that you linked, Soul. I'd never seen those before. I did enjoy it. And other stuff on their channel was awesome.
Mm-hmm. They have a lot of stuff.
So yeah, Soul came in 31% in second place, Ova 15%. So let's get to this week's cards and see if we can if we can flip that around, huh? So I'm going to start with an artist named The Anti-Lily, and I'm going to go more on the practical side of art. This is a biotic rifle, the Anna's rifle. It was recreated in a physical form for cosplay, and I think it's a very, very good rendition of it. And I would love to have one in my house, just sitting on the wall, or to use for a cosplay of my own.
Yeah.
So there's mine. Ova, what is your nomination for the week?
My nomination this week is a GIF of Farah and Tracer in almost a kind of anime-ish style, and this comes to you from Reddit's WS_1234. So Farah and Tracer are kind of battling it out. She's barraging Tracer. She's running away. Shoots at her. Really cool. I'd love to see a longer feature of this. This style. I think it's cool.
Yeah, you're coming strong with this. Not gonna lie. So, Soul, do you have something you think can take both of us out this week?
I think so. I got for the Heroes of the Storm 2.0, we have a drawing or picture of Diva Police. So at Phantom508, you're under arrest. So
I like it.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the nominations of the week. We'll get them out so everybody can see them, and we'll see. May the best man win, right? So I didn't get any questions from Discord or Twitter or anything like that this week, but if you do have any questions, you can always join us on Discord for asking questions, for chatting, hitting us up for games, whatever it might be. And you can do that by going to our blog page, clicking on Connect on Discord, or you can just connect on our widget there. Or you can just ask on Twitter directly or using the hashtag AskOvercast. So we'll answer your questions on the show. And do we have any shout-outs for the week from any of you? I don't have any myself this week.
I don't either.
I was thinking of OverSumo, the app for Android. It's very handy to check your rank, as well as looking at your different heroes and how well you're playing them. It kind of ranks you compared to everyone else. But under that, it divides it into different categories of what you should be doing with that hero. And it's nice to see I'm lacking on my Mercy healing. I'm not doing as well as compared to other things. So maybe I'll make sure to heal a little bit more when I play Mercy and stuff like that. This points out some of your weaknesses that you can work on.
That's pretty neat.
It's nice. Yep.
Good shout out. I like it. Well, if there's nothing else, let's round out with some closing formalities again. Just remember, you can follow the show itself at Overcast Show on Twitter. If you want to go and hit us up, our blog page is overcast.frozenfoxmedia.com. If you want to check out all the other podcasts, other content we have on the network, hit up frozenfoxmedia.com itself and just click on shows. You'll find all of it there. Tons of links. We have tons of content for you. And then if you're watching the video version on YouTube, or if you're listening to the audio version on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, anywhere else, either one, if you love the show, let us know by either subscribing. Well, we want you to subscribe, but make sure you leave a review or a thumbs up or whatever it might be, depending on where it is that you're getting Overcast from. And we very much thank you for all of your support and for listening or watching, whatever it might be. And then individually, where can everyone find us out there? Ova, where can people find you out there in the interwebs?
You can find me on Twitter or on Twitch at OvadriveCTR. And don't forget that I will be streaming even more in the next month. So please go out and follow me on Twitch.
There we go. If you're playing Overwatch, you can get some people from the Discord.
Absolutely.
Soul, where can people find you?
Yep, I'm going to keep it. It's at HanzoMain420.
Nice.
Yep.
So there you go. And you can find me at Frosty Fox everywhere, Twitter, Twitch, pretty much everything. There's that, and there's the show. So thank you again. It's the 78th episode of Overcast, your Overwatch podcast. We're glad to be back here for another week. Hope that everyone has an awesome time. If you're doing the Heroes 2.0 event, or if you're just finishing up Uprising, good luck with all your loot boxes and more. And we'll see you back here next week with more news. I'm sure there'll be more news to talk about. So Have a fantastic week. I'm Frostee.
I'm Overdrive.
I'm Soulslain.
See you next time.